comment on your body don't actually care about your health, or they wouldn't say shit like that.
If you've ever had the misfortune of being on the receiving end of a, I'm just concerned about your health, you know how uncomfortable that made you. Defensive, irritable. It was not a good experience. Because that shit is manipulative. Because if I have any reaction that's not appreciative or apologetic for the way that my body looks, I'm unreasonable. I'm overreacting. But I just love you so much that I care. You love me so much that you're like, I'm worried you're gonna die. Surely this will have no effect on my mental health at all. And I'm sure that a lot of people that say it, it's not coming from a place of malice, but it is coming from a place of stigma and shame. And science has shown you literally cannot shame someone into lifelong behavioral change. You might see temporary changes, but the reality is self-hatred and health cannot coexist in your body. Think what you want, but you can keep it to yourself.
I'm concerned for your health too, and I promise if you say that shit to me again, you'll be at greater risk of death than I will for being fat.
Timing and empathy are two key factors when attempting to have a conversation.
You know what? I'm gonna try a little piece of this. I don't like it. That's a no for me. Oh God. That is like one of the grossest things I've ever tasted. It literally tasted like poison. Like chemicals. It tasted like straight up chemicals.
Too much drama after eating all the other processed stuff. There is no doubt that processed meat contains many harmful chemicals that are not present in fresh meat.
Doing the same thing, expecting a different result doesn't work that way. You must switch up the mainframe. Switch it up if you want a different result, man.
Many of those who are comfortable making fat jokes don't really view fat people as people. That's not really what I mean, but let me see if I can explain. People who are comfortable making fat jokes don't imagine that there are fat people who exist who don't desperately want to be thin. Does that make sense? A comedian can claim that they don't make jokes at other people's expense while making fat jokes because it just never occurred to them that a fat person could be happy while also being fat. If you're fat, you have to desperately want to not be fat. And that's what makes it okay to make fun of them, because nobody wants to be that way, so of course it's fine to make fun of it, right? At least that's my theory, and it's a shitty justification, but it is a justification.
You emphasize the word, desperately. If you were fat and happy, you wouldn't bother with things like this.
People who make fat jokes view being overweight as a moral failing, and thus, feel justified shaming them.
Okay, so I'm nervous. Okay. I was gonna get like a side salad, so I can get full off of that. They don't have salads there.
You guys just don't understand nutrition like her.
As a personal trainer, here's how you cut carbs. Follow me for more tips on how to basically eat.
Bravo.
It's perfectly okay to cut down on or cut out carbs if you are getting enough calories every day.
Hold on. Water is to die for, literally.
What's with the water and fat people?
Most people quit because they focus on how far to go still, never realizing how far they've already come.
A low-carb diet has been associated with improved blood sugar control and insulin sensitivity.
Is it an addiction? Is it an addiction? No, I don't think I think it's an addiction. I think it does put me, like, it makes me happy, but no, it's not an addiction.
I don't trust anyone who isn't a foodie, to be honest.
10 examples of fat phobia in TV and film. Monica in Friends. Constantly depicted as eating like that's all people in larger bodies do. It's not. Fat Amy in Pitch Perfect. The name alone is fat phobia personified. Gwyneth Paltrow's character in Shallow Hal. The guy is literally hypnotized in order to fall in love with somebody in a larger body. This alone speaks for itself. Samantha's character in the Sex and the City film. Called out for having a gut, but newsflash, we all have guts. Bridget Jones's Diary. A film that literally encouraged women to hate their bodies and be fearful of dying fat and alone. It's not just female characters though. We've got the Nutty Professor. The guy went to extreme lengths in order to be slim. What? In order to be deserving of love? This is an obvious one. Khloe Kardashian's revenge body. The entire show depicts that only those in thin bodies are desirable. Going back in the archives, we've got Jan from Greece. Firstly, she's not actually plus size. Secondly, she's also always depicted as eating. Do we see a pattern here? A really problematic one. Last but not least, the cousin in Harry Potter. Depicted as eating cake, then given a pigtail. Can we see the fat phobia here?
Does anyone think noticing stuff like this became a trend? This was not a thing years ago. It's just a movie.
Thor in Endgame was so infuriating, making fun of his mental health and coping and making his appearance the butt of jokes when he was depressed.
Pretty much like, I pay attention to my body, okay? I do. I know a lot of people like to think that I don't, but I'm smart. I have a dietitian, y'all. I gave my nuggets the platform they deserve. Also, individual mac and cheese and individual mashed potatoes and gravy. And we have a cookie.
By restricting the intake of carbohydrates, the body is prompted to burn stored fat for energy, leading to a reduction in overall body fat.
3 celebrities that are really dangerous to the health and fitness industry. This is not an exhaustive list. There are more. Number 1, we have Jillian Michaels. Yes, she's a personal trainer in her own right, but she's kind of become more of a celebrity household name. Ignoring all of her problematic ways on The Biggest Loser, that's a whole separate video. She also told women that they should eat the recommended daily allowance for a toddler. No. She also makes me mildly mortified to admit I'm a personal trainer that's also a lesbian. Thanks, Gillian. Number 2, we have Rob Lowe, the newest face of the Atkins diet, which if you're a young person, basically the predecessor to the keto diet. Anyone that's pushing this idea of low carb, low sugar, etc. is really flipping dangerous. Number 3, last but definitely not least, Gwyneth Paltrow. Listen, I've got a list as long as my arm of problematic things that Gwyneth Paltrow does with her Goop brand, lifestyle, wellness, fitness, etc. But with regards to health and fitness, she talks a lot about banishing cellulite, clean eating, demonizing certain food types, etc., etc. Please, Gwyneth, I beg of you, just go back to acting. You were really quite good.
And Tess Holliday is not on the list? Or any other fat activist? A low-carbohydrate diet can offer a range of benefits, including weight loss, improved blood sugar control, enhanced cardiovascular health, and potential cognitive advantages.
You know what I noticed? When I drink, I lose weight the next day. Can someone talk to me about that, please? Because I know I have a lot of like doctors and like dietitians and such. And I know a lot of like biologists follow me. So why do I lose weight when I drink? This happens every single time. I literally lose weight. Like I'll lose like a few pounds. I tried Googling it actually.
Don't entertain her. She's been in denial over her weight for years, making up excuses for why she isn't losing weight.